It's interesting when you look at the first 5 books of the Bible. There's the Torah, which is kind of had 613 commands that people followed. So what Jewish rabbis would do is they would take these 613 commands and they would create their interpretation of the commands. And all of them had different points that they would emphasize more than others. And some would put heavy restrictions on what you could and couldn't do on Sabbath, or how far you could walk, or what amount of weight you could carry. Others would talk about justice and how you were supposed to participate with almsgiving. What ended up happening is it created a lot of legalism. It became a lot of rules. It became more about the law than actually glorifying and worshiping God. Years later, Jesus comes along with his own interpretation of these 613 commands. In fact, he boiled it down to saying 2 things. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. And in another part, he says, when he invites people to come follow, he says, my yoke, that is my interpretation of all of these 613 commands, my yoke is easy. Better translation, my yoke is useful, and my burden is light. In other words, Jesus introduces us to this way to practice faith, to live into the reality of God with a living faith. What I simply did was I wanted to have faith that was both basic and tangible, that could help form Christ in us, that could give us a chance to experience the heart of God. It could use faith for the benefit of others, but maybe most importantly, it could allow us to impart or give away a faith to those closest to us. And so we talk about these rhythms. They're kind of our yoke, if you will, our sort of way that we choose to follow God. So we talk about it in terms of generosity and hospitality, and we talk about it as community and gratitude, and we look at it in terms of apprenticing and renewal. It's just simply our tangible expression of faith and wanting to have a living faith.